All right, guys, welcome to our team call, last call of April 2018. Insane. We are just coming back from our Success Club trip, and this call is going to be all like a recap of it. Honestly, we have nothing scheduled and planned out. We're just kind of share from the heart and talk about our experience and how freaking amazing it is and how much you guys need to be there next year and the year after and the year after. And we're going to be grandmas and grandpas on these trips, like partying it up at Beachbody, because that's how we do it. And yeah, so honestly, I don't even know what to talk about. It's just so freaking amazing. If you were watching our social medias, I hope you had major FOMO, because honestly, like, that's what happened when I saw my coach go on her first trip in Atlantis like 7 years ago. And I was like, there's no way that this is like legit, and there's no way that I could do that, right? Like, I never thought that I could be a working coach, that I could be a successful coach, that I could earn free awesome vacations on Beachbody's tab, but it is freaking possible. And all of us have it within ourselves and the potential and capabilities to do it. And it's really, really simple. So I don't want you guys to overcomplicate it. Like, you help 3 people every single month and you can earn a free vacation, not just for yourself, but for a guest. And you can take whoever you want. You can take a friend, you can take a fellow coach, you can take a significant other, a parent, a family member, whoever, except for your dog, which is kind of sad, but whatever. But do you want to add to that, Jenna?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think where to start too, because it's just, I remember, so I want to take it back just a little bit. I remember being a brand new coach, or a pretty new coach, I should say. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to shoot to get on the cruise, which was the first ever Success Club trip that I went on. And for me at that time, that was like a huge challenge to like consistently help 3 people every single month to earn this cruise for free. Because at that point, I was working in advertising. My job was really stressful. I felt guilty taking vacations. And I also felt like I shouldn't really be spending money on a trip, and I really should be putting that towards student loans, which I had a shit ton, as I'm sure you guys can relate. So I looked at this cruise as like my turning point in this business. I think, to be honest with you guys, it really forced me to level up, because A, I did not want to pay to get on this cruise, and B, I wanted to build something special with this business, and this free opportunity to earn a free vacation was really like my incentive to do that. And it was just an extra perk that I got to take Mike along with me. And at the time, he knew I was doing Beachbody. He supported me, but like, he had never really seen the community in action. And when he was on that Success Club trip, everything changed for him as well, in terms of like where this could go for us. So get excited about the trip and the opportunity to earn your way there. And yeah, it's super easy to do once you get in the right mindset, but also look at it as this could change the course of your business. This could make you level up and really force you to be consistent with those vital behaviors to get this trip earned for free. And from there, like, ever since that trip, things have changed for me year after year. And I want you guys to experience that same shift as well.
Carol, you're so eloquent. I love it. And I will say, I definitely agree with everything Jenna just said. As far as like my personal experience, I've been a coach for a long time. I'm like a grandma coach compared to all of you guys. But it is incredible to see like what you're capable of. And it does give you that extra layer of accountability. And you're like, okay, I signed up for this cruise or trip. I don't want to pay for it. Like, if I can get it paid for, why not, right? So it's going to make you level up. It's going to show you what's possible. And it's also going to inspire your team to do the same thing. So you guys are now coming on these trips and enjoying it and being able to bring your teammates or significant others. And then we're going to continue paying it forward and inspiring our newer coaches to come on these trips. And then it's just going to be like one huge, big ass, amazing party. And like, how awesome is it that like you were the one to take that first step and say, okay, like, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to show people and myself that, you know, it's possible. And all the people on our social medias who still don't kind of understand this and think it might be kind of sketchy or it's not legit, you're like, okay, I'm here. I'm actually on this trip I earned, like, believe it or not, but it's fucking happening. And, you know, either watch me or join me. So I think it's really, really cool that we get this extra incentive with our businesses, because most of us have worked or are working at jobs that do not recognize us for our hard work, that do not show their appreciation. And when Beachbody does a trip like this or any kind of event, like they go big, like special, like they had fireworks at the closing ceremony, like they have like down to the napkins, like Beachbody branded napkins. And not that that's really important, but they put money and effort into like making this special for us and really proving and showing that like, okay, like we deserve this, we earned this, and like we're gonna recognize the heck out of you because you're here and like you're kicking ass. So now I guess I'll just turn it over to anyone who wants to go next and share their experience, either Katie, Cole, or Emily. Okay, Katie's waving, so she'll go and talk about her experience on the trip.
All right, guys. So I'm super excited to jump on here and share my experience because this is now my second Success Club trip. So I went with Paulina last year to the Dominican Republic, and I posted this when I was in Mexico, but like a transformation Tuesday, but really just like the mindset shift that I've been able to have between last year's Success Club trip and this year's Success Club trip. Completely different approach of how I was going into those trips. And I mean, the biggest thing was when I went last year, I'd kind of like let my mindset kind of just get really negative, and I wasn't really following my nutrition or my fitness, and I really wasn't feeling myself. And so when I was there in Mexico with all of these coaches around me, I didn't feel like I deserved to be there. And so it was like this very uncomfortable feeling that I had to go through. But then coming in to this trip, coming off 80-Day Obsession, having finished it strong, like feeling really good about it, and then crushing Success Club before I even got there and reaching Diamond, like I was just feeling on top of the world. And like it's funny when you actually go ahead and set those goals really high, what you can actually achieve, because I was able to pull out SC12 in the last 3 days of March, and then start off with SC10 in this month, and now I'm at SC14. So like you just never know like what can happen. But I think one of the biggest things I wanted to highlight for you guys is, as a new coach, it was kind of my nature to see like, oh, you know, like seeing all these people on the calls, like they must have something special that I don't have, or they're on this pedestal, right? I used to always put the higher up Diesel Nation coaches on our team on this giant pedestal. I'm like, oh God, if I could just be Christina Delgado, my life would be awesome, you know? But like, she's just like us, you guys. Like, she's a real person, and just like everyone else on her team, they don't have anything like super special. They've just been doing this for a long time. And I think that was one of the things I really took away this time, is like I walked up to any single coach, regardless of who they were. Like, I had a conversation with Jamie Innes, who's like a pretty big time coach, and like she's just a totally normal person. I ran into Chris Downing like coming into the center, and we just like had a conversation. And that's what I just love about this community, you guys, is like literally everyone is just like you, and you just walk up to them and you just talk to them like they're a person, you know, like it's not as crazy as I was making it out in my head before. And I think that huge shift has been incredible. And I think it's definitely something that's showing through my social media now, because now, you know, people are reaching out to me more, saying like, what is this that you're doing? You know, and really using this trip as like that momentum boost too, is like something that's really cool. But there's nothing that replaces being around your team and being at live events. I mean, we've gotten to connect so much more by being on this trip together. And I think that's really, really cool, and definitely a reason you should be at Summit too. That's it. That's all I got.
Heck yeah. And just to piggyback off of what Katie said, in sharing this on social media and sharing her experience on this trip and inspiring new people, like new eyeballs, to be like, what is this girl doing? Like, I want to see or learn about it, right? Whether you are on the trip or not, you still can talk about it. Like, talk about your teammates who earned this free trip and how excited you are about getting the next trip and earning it for free and taking, you know, whoever you want. That's actually kind of funny, because it came up on my, like, on this day on Facebook that Nicole actually posted last year that Katie, Emily, and I were going to Punta Cana, and how she was going to be there next year. And guess what? She was here this year. So just putting it out there into the universe, right? Like, you never know what can happen. So with that, I will tell Cole to share her experience.
All right. So I have a lot of feelings coming off of this trip and coming home. And the first thing is to get over your own damn shit, because going on this trip, I was excited. I was nervous. I mean, I saw all these top coaches on the plane ride with me, and I was scared to go over and say hello to them. And then being in Mexico with Jenna and Katie and Emily and Paulina and, you know, everybody else that I see on social media really opened my eyes, and it really made me like think about where I am in my business and where I am in my life and like what I want out of it. And just just like Katie said, like we put these people on pedestals and they're really just normal people just like us. You know, they have normal lives just like us, but they have their shit together. They figured out what works and they're consistent in their business, and that's how they get on these trips every single year. It's really not that simple, but we make it difficult in our own heads, and I feel like that's why most of us think we're failing or not where we should be. And I think the biggest takeaway that I had from this trip, because we did talk business, we had fun, but we talked business, and I kind of listened to everybody talk their business. Even though maybe I was tanning away, I was listening to everybody. And, you know, just just thinking of Paulina and Jenna, like and Emily, all of them, you know, they are always hitting Success Club. They're, you know, we may think of them as somebody to put on a pedestal, but what I've learned and what I realized is that they all have the same, they all get the same no's sometimes. They all have the same struggles that I have. The thing I think that is different is their mindset and how they don't let those fears and struggles get in their way, and they still kill it and they still crush it and they still have these trips that they earn every single year. And that's exactly where I want to be. And I just think that I'm going to be getting my shit together way more quickly being on this trip, because I mean, this trip was awesome. Like we literally walked around and were able to eat and drink anything we wanted and didn't even have to pay for it. We just had the best time of our lives. We sang, we danced, we drank, we tanned, like we worked out. Like it was unreal. Like honestly, like I've been on trips before, but being on a trip like this, because first of all, fitness is our passion, right? We love fitness. We love working out. It's changed our lives in so many areas. And just to think that all these people you're surrounded with are not judging you. They're there for the same reasons. Everyone's there to have fun. It's a trip that they put on for us, you know, to show us that they care about us and they recognize us and they see the hard work that we do. And it's just crazy. Like the last night there was fireworks. I had the chills. I was like, is this freaking real? Like, oh my God. Like it was awesome. Like if every single year all you have to do is help 3 people a month and you earn that trip, like what is stopping you? Just get over your shit. If you're having trouble in an area, just reach out to somebody and ask for help, you know, because sometimes maybe we don't know that you're struggling. Just ask for help because you want to be on that trip. You definitely want to be on that trip next year because it will open your eyes to like craziness. Just I just don't even know. Like, I'm just excited. Like, I can't even believe we're not there anymore. I wish you were still there. Like, I don't know. I'm sweating. That's it, I guess. I mean, I'm sure I'll come up with more after I talk, but that's it.
Awesome, girl. Thank you for sharing. All right, Emily, you're next. You're up, girl.
Sorry, I couldn't find the whole unmute thing. Sorry, I just got home from work like, I don't know, 15 minutes ago, so ignore my frazzled self. So for me, I guess the biggest takeaway from this trip was what some of these other people have mentioned, is just visualizing. So while we were actually in Mexico, on my time hop came up from, what was it, Paulina, 2014? That you guys went to Cancun?
Yeah, I think so, 2014.
Yeah, so I've been on 3 Success Club trips now. So this was 4 Success Club trips ago that Paulina was in Cancun with her sister, and I remember seeing those photos and being super jealous, and I had just started my fitness journey probably about 6 months beforehand, But I had told Paulina, don't bug me about this whole coaching thing. I'm a scientist. I don't want to know anything about coaching. I just want to do my science, and I want to get my Shakeology discounted. I don't want to know about anything else. And then seeing her on that trip and seeing all of the incredible things that she was able to experience being on the trip, like I can still like picture, remember that picture? There's a picture of you sitting on a wall from Cancun.
Yep.
That you plastered like all over social media, and I still remember that picture because that's the picture that made me go, oh wait, like if she's there doing this, why can't I do it? And at that point I had lost, I want to say it was like 60 pounds, and I just started sharing about it. I just started sharing on social media, and I was like, you know what, like I want to do this next year because I'm a grad student. I was a grad student, can't afford these vacations, so I have to figure out how to make it happen, and this is how I'm going to make it happen. And so from that point on, I started hustling, and I was on the very next Success Club trip. It was as Paulina's guest, but I made it. I earned my spot. I went diamond after that. So that was my like, hey, I'm getting myself on this trip. This is how I'm earning it. And then every year after that, I've been on the trip that I've earned. And this year, low battery. So last year I bought a friend of mine to the trip, but this year I was able to actually bring one of my PS coaches, which was an entirely different experience. Like being able to see what Paulina saw in me that first year, but seeing it in someone else was kind of an amazing experience. Like showing up and seeing Nicole, and we've never met in person, and seeing her for the first time on this trip. And I told her when I saw her, I was like, is this weird that it's not weird? Like we'd already felt like we'd known each other. We already felt like, you know, we were comfortable, we were besties, and just because of calls like this. So like it was just an incredible experience to be able to see. And that one post, like just that one post on my time hop made me go like, holy crap, I went from being envious that I wasn't on the trip to being on the trip as a guest to then earning the trip, and then earning the trip and bringing one of my PS coaches and seeing how she saw it for the very first time, like seeing her soak everything in. Because at this point, not that I take the trips for granted, but it's not this like super new thing anymore. Like that all the trips are amazing, and Beachbody goes above and beyond to make them incredible for us. And, you know, we have all these amazing friends that go on this trip, but really being able to see the trip through someone who was seeing it for the first time was an incredible experience. And something that I hope to keep doing every year, because it was pretty awesome to be able to see the excitement in Nicole, and to be able to like get up in the morning and order room service coffee and then go sit on the balcony and talk about our businesses. Like that was pretty cool. So for me, it was kind of the evolution of like from being somebody who just sits on the sideline and watches to finally deciding to take action and going after it, and then earning my spot, and then now being able to pay it forward. Like, yeah, I think that's the really neat part about these trips, is that we get to experience them from so many different angles, and experience so many things. Even when you go on these trips, like even when you've been on your third, fourth, fifth trip, it's always going to be a little bit different, which and you get to learn new things about yourself and about your team, and I think that's really exciting. And we get to do it all for free as long as we help a few people each month. Like, sign me up for all the free vacations. I don't know about you guys. Yeah, that's all I got.
I can't agree more. Sign me up for all the free vacations, please. But yes to all these amazing testimonials. And if you are not on the wait list yet for next year's trip, then you need to go sign up like right now, like this second. But I will say it is amazing to see it through someone else's eyes. And the first trip where I took Emily, it was actually like one of the first times that she was in like a 2-piece bathing suit in front of people, like since I don't know how long, like in your life.
Was actually the first time I'd ever been in a bikini.
Yeah, like being there for that moment and like taking pictures of her and telling her how freaking amazing she looks because she did. Like that is something you can experience like with your teammates, and like, you know, realize that you had a small part of that happening, right? And like seeing her light up because like she felt great in her bathing suit. She felt confident and like was able to make that happen because of this opportunity. That is freaking like insane. and seeing like the light bulbs come off, like after we went to like the panels and we heard from the top 10 coaches and her like telling me about all the goals she wanted to like accomplish and reach and all those things. Like that's the beauty of this, besides just hanging out together and like getting to bond and really like get to know one another, because you know most of us only know each other like through social media right now and these calls. But when you're in person, like you really realize like, holy crap, like we are best friends. You know what I mean? Like it's not just like a thing that I think, like I actually like love this person, and it's crazy because I just met them. But I love all of you guys. But yeah, so if you like are not fired up by this, if you're not inspired by this, then I don't know what's going on with you guys, but you need to wake up. Okay, Jenna, is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, just because I do know there are some new coaches on here, or newer coaches. So to get on the wait list for next year's trip, you got to go to www.anchorsaway2019.com. And I posted that in the chat. That's going to give you all the details for next year's trip. But in a nutshell, like you can find all this in the FAQ, like if you know you want to review it in more detail. But basically your activity this year, so like pretty much at this point, next year's trip's like booked. But we have the wait list because, you know, people are pregnant. Maybe they don't want to go on a cruise to this area or whatever, like Zika, you know, people are freaking out about that still. So anything can happen. Things happen. The wait list goes down all the time. So just get on that wait list, and your activity in terms of Success Club this year, at the end of the year, when we have the ability to register for the 2020 trip, based on your Success Club activity, you will be more towards the front of the line to register for that trip. So, of course, Success Club All-Stars and Legends. So All-Stars are people who are in Success Club for 12 months in a row. Legends are people who earn Success Club 24 months in a row. So if you're striving to become one of those, you get like first access to registering. If you're a 5-star coach, you get first access to registering. There are some other, you know, like qualifications that will make you kind of front of the line. But the easiest way is like Success Club All-Star or Legend to shoot for that, which means being consistent every month with helping 3 people. And if you do that, you're going to be more towards the front of the line of being able to register for this trip. And then from there, it goes based on, I believe, Paulina, correct me if I'm wrong, but like the top Success Club earners, and it works its way back in terms of who gets off the wait list, correct?
Yeah, I believe so. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, just keep your nose down and focus on the vitals, guys. Like, don't freak out about this, but know that if you're consistently helping 3 people every month, you're pretty likely to get an invite to the 2020 trip.
And the more people you help, the faster you'll get off that list. So don't just settle for 3 people. Like 3 people is a minimum to earn your trip for free. But if you're hitting higher Success Club point numbers and helping more people every single month, that's going to bump you up the list. So let's go help a lot of people and win a free vacation.
And I know too, like this year, Michaela earned the trip. She couldn't go because of nursing school, which was really sad, but at least she freaking earned the trip, right? Which is awesome. But last year, she didn't, I think you missed like 1 or maybe 2 months of Success Club 5 or higher, but she was still let off the wait list because she was still consistent with her Success Club. You know, she was still helping people every month, even if she missed a couple months of Success Club. So, you know, don't count yourself out. Get yourself on the wait list. Make sure you register when the next trip opens up, which will be at the end of this year or something like that.
In January at the Super Saturday, that's when they announce where the next trip is going.
Okay, so next January, you guys will know about 2020, but definitely something to shoot for. Like, if you don't have the goosebumps after hearing everyone speak tonight, then I don't know what's wrong with you, because it is life-changing, it is business-changing, and it just feels damn good to be appreciated for helping people, because as leaders and as coaches, what we do, it's a thankless job, right? We're not always being thanked. We're not always getting the nicest people talking to us, like most of the time we are, but it's hard. Like, it's really hard sometimes. And it's nice to be rewarded and know that the company that's behind you wants you to succeed and is really proud of the work that you're doing to end the trend of obesity, right? So we're all a part of this really, really powerful mission. And it's so great to be spoiled on these trips. And it's even greater when you start to bring your team with you and see them experience that moment as well.
Yeah, I think Cole had something to add. You still want to say something?
So August will be my 2 years as a coach, and I just wanted to add that when I first started coaching and I was kind of just dabbling in the idea of it and just doing my workout program, as my post that I saw you guys go on the trip, you know, I thought like there was like a smidget thought that I would eventually get on this trip, but I always had a bigger thought that I would never get on this trip because I just didn't think that I had it in me, or I didn't think that I was good enough, or because I did struggle that I thought that I would like never make it there. So get that thought out of your head because I made it there. And yes, Emily took me as a guest, but I worked for that. And now I earned my trip. I earned my spot for next year. So never count yourself out and never think little of yourself because you never know where you can be and where you can end up if you just shoot for the stars. That's kind of what I just wanted to add.
Love it so much. That's like so powerful. I just love seeing the passion coming from you as a result of this trip. Guys, like no joke, just watch Cole. She is going to like literally up the bar now. Just watch her. She is gonna show the power of attending events. So
Yeah,
all
she's
eyes are gonna be on you.
in a couple of weeks.
What was that?
So yeah, she's gonna go diamond in a couple of weeks.
Ooh.
Yay!
Yeah, girl. Yeah, you are. In 2 weeks. Let's do it. And guys, Summit is coming up. So if you don't have your ticket, please go buy your ticket because you don't want to miss it. You don't want to have that FOMO at home because that's what I did my first Summit. I stayed home and I watched everyone in Vegas having an amazing time and doing all these things. And I instantly regretted not investing in myself and in my business. So please go because it will be life-changing. It will really just be that like click for you if you haven't attended a live event or if you haven't attended this live event. But even if you have, like, it just gives you that energy again. Like, it re-inspires you, reignites your fire and your passion, and just shows you what's possible. Because, like everyone said, like, we need to take people off the pedestal because, yes, they're amazing and they're successful and they have all these things and, like, make all this money. But there's no difference between us and them. Like, boiled down to it, like, they're just outworking us, you know? Like, there's nothing extra special about them or, like, they have some kind of, I don't know what secret. Like, there is no secret to this. Just show up for yourself and your journey because that's number one. Like, and that's something that I struggle personally with. But right now, like, I'm fucking killing it, so I want to keep going. Yeah, finally, I finally got the fitness part down. It only took me 5 years, but it's okay because it just shows you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be, like, perfect about your fitness or perfect about nutrition. Like, we're all in this. We're all humans. We're all failing forward and just figuring shit out. But really just like dial into the vitals, dial into your personal journey and just share it authentically. Like, that's going to be the game changer. That's what's going to like separate you from other people. Like, when you're just authentic and yourself and you just really truly want to help people because this has changed your life in one way or another and you want to show people that it's possible for them too. So with that being said, anything else, Jenna?
I just want you guys to really think about changing your mindset from if she can do it, there's no reason why I can't either.
Or if he can do it, I can do it too, for the guys on the team. Because there are successful guy coaches too, so don't forget about that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, same thing, you know, if she can do it, he can do it, right? But once you make that shift in your mind, there's literally no stopping you. That's when my business changed. That's when, you've heard it multiple times on this call tonight. So start believing in yourself. This is not a hard business. It just takes vision and consistency and just that grit and that hustle that like, I'm going to figure this shit out eventually. Things are going to fall into place. It's just a matter of time for me, you know? So make that shift and like, I promise things change from there once you have that solid, unshakable mindset.
Amen. So with that, unless anyone has any questions or comments, we'll wrap it up. But let's just go kick some ass. Like, let's prove to ourselves that we can do this, that we have it within ourselves, that we can go above and beyond what we think is like our capabilities. Because you can always up the bar, right? You can always go a little harder. You can always push a little more in your workouts. You can always talk to more people, put yourself out there and just make it happen. Make it happen.
And get on the wait list. Go to the website. We'll post the link again when we start the recording.
Yes. Okay, let me stop this and